maintenance and repairs, inspections for the sale of your home. They provide excellent and courteous service for all your plumbing and septic needs. We're not satisfied till you are satisfied. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Call today. Cartwright's Queen Creek Plumbing and Septic Service. Contact Denise at 480-987-8051. That's 480-987-8051.
It's Thursday morning in the Santan Valley. Tom DiCamillo live from the KQCK studios in Santan Valley, and this is CAC Live, and we have a full house here if you're watching us in high-definition video, and we have Veronica Duran that we've brought back, and you hold the record now for most visits. You know that you and Diane Beecroft are like neck and neck right now.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to tell her.
So, but I think you edged her out. I think she's about 3. I think this is about 6 for you now.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So, but we're going to talk today about getting your degree and your credits at CAC, but then transferring on to the 4-year institutions in Arizona. We do want to do a big hello or shout out to station owner Joe Carrero, who's down in Costa Rica right now, and he's got some big things going on. I thought I saw a Facebook picture that he was hanging on dear life from a zip line, screaming all the way across the forest down there, but we'll see when Joe comes back. Joe will be back in early July, but some big things. We'll have a lot of big news down there. But today we have a lot of guests in the studio. We want to welcome back Raina Pisano from the University of Arizona.
Hello.
I think it's been about a year since you were on last time.
Yes, I think so.
So, and then also from Arizona State University, Kiri Theobald. Kiri, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And then Selena Salinas. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. It's funny. I always joke because they always say my last name is DiCamillo out here. And my grandmother goes, no, it's Italian. It's DiCamillo. So I have to tell you, make sure you correct people out there. So Selena's from the Northern Arizona University and is joining us today.
That's correct.
So the three of you are going to talk about the programs and how students at Central Arizona College can transfer and get their 4-year degrees. And Veronica, I want to start with you. Obviously, a mission for community colleges is to get students their 2-year degrees or their certificates, but a big part of that is opening the doors to allow them to transfer and go on and get that 4-year degree, and then maybe something more.
Yes, definitely. Really what our goal is to get students acclimated to college life, get them their first 2 years at lower tuition rates, get them used to taking college classes, to the processes that go along with registering, getting financial aid paperwork completed, and then helping them get transferred into a university and complete their 4-year bachelor degree and even continue on if they choose to do so. You
know, when you look at an 18-year-old, 17, 18, 19-year-old, the biggest challenge is that first year. It can be terrifying. And a community college can really, there are students ready to go to 4-year institutions. There's some that are never ready to go. Yeah. You know. So but there are a lot that can really benefit from going to a 2-year college.
Yes.
Because it's at maturity level. That time between 18 and 19-year-olds, I saw it all the time at a 4-year institution. They changed a lot. And at a community college, that really helps prepare them to go to a 4-year institution.
It does. Sometimes, when you're a high school student, you're trying to figure out, what it is that you want to do, and you take a look at the brochures and you're like, oh man, it looks so scary to go to, you hear of all these scary thoughts of going to a university and sitting in big 500 student classrooms and things like that. Well, what a community college is doing for you is we're just kind of getting you used to, okay, don't worry about it. It's not that scary. Let's get you started, get your foot in the door, get used to going to college and college life, and then help you in giving you that assistance and those connections to get transferred into one of the universities and have that smooth as possible transition that you can have.
It would almost seem that when you're 18 or 19 years old and maybe your parents don't totally understand going to a 4-year institution, that the 2-year colleges kind of help bridge all that for you. The paperwork, they let you understand all that.
Yeah, and not saying that the universities don't have the time to spend with you, because they do as well, but with, the community college, like CAC, we have a little bit more time to maybe sit down with you, get the financial aid paperwork completed, make sure that you understand what's going on, help you through that registration process, and kind of just transition you and let you know, here's the questions that you need to be asking every semester as you're going through your degree, and just kind of getting them used to say, okay, you know what, I can do this, not a big deal. And then when they start going into, transferring into the university, it's a little easier for them. They feel more comfortable. They know who they can contact, what type of questions they need to ask, what needs to be completed prior to each semester. So it's really just a transition, an easier transition for students.
It's being from Pennsylvania. Penn State University had a model where they had satellite campuses that were two-year colleges. And then you either got a two-year degree or you could go on, because it didn't have the community college system. There were some community colleges, but not like what's out here, which is really a similar role that what CAC does. And a lot of those in Pennsylvania were in rural communities. And that's what really CAC does.
Yeah, we have lots of different locations throughout the county, just giving you that opportunity, that chance. You can take classes face-to-face. You can take them online. We have day classes, evening classes, weekend courses. And so we're just giving students that opportunity to really get used to college life and preparing them for their university transfer and getting that 4-year degree.
Now, you were a student at CAC before you became the registrar. And it's funny because I had a publication years ago, and you're on the front cover as a student that I found. But you lived this. Yes. You did the 2-year and then went to the 4-year. Talk about your experiences and how you can share them with students that are going to do this now in the next few years.
Well, like I said, it can be a scary thought, going to college. What am I going to do? Do I even know what I want to be?
What was the biggest thing that scared you when you first came to CAC? Or in the process deciding which college to go to?
I think it was really, how am I going to get this paid for? And those, thinking about, it's going to be so expensive. Once I transfer on, how am I going to get it paid for? But having a community college there within your county with so many different sites that you can just walk into and talk to people. And what's great about with CAC is we have the 3 state universities have representation on our campus. So you can transition from that community college coursework and financial aid and have a smooth transition into the universities and have somebody that you can walk right across the hall and go, hey, I'm interested in ASU or NAU or U of A. How can I get started? What kind of paperwork? What's the scholarships that are available? And trying to get that information, having it conveniently located there for you is great. And so I think that was the scariest thing for me, was how am I going to get this paid for? But having somebody there to answer those questions on the campus was really great.
Do you think that's one of the most important things of any college, especially community college, is to have the resources like the 3 state schools right there? Because people tend to, if it's right there, they'll walk in. If not, they go home, and then they never ask the question.
Right, and sometimes not everybody is internet savvy, and it's kind of, for all institutions, it's kind of hard to navigate. And on going to places, going to the websites, you're going, okay, where do I go to find scholarships? Where do I go to talk to get degree information, talk to an advisor? And so having the convenience of these 3 offices on location and being able to walk right in, it's a lot. You feel more comfortable asking questions face to face, and so that makes it really great to have that available.
I want to bring Raina in here, so she's been nodding her head at a lot of the answers that you're given, and as in your role of dealing with 2-year college students, they've already got 2 years under their belt, and you're trying to bring them into the 4-year institution. Do you see that they're a little bit more comfortable as opposed to a freshman?
Yes, sir. We at the U of A, we love our transfer students. We love our transfer population because the community college really does an excellent job of teaching a student how to be a college student. There can be, a big scary cliff when you get out of high school, or if you've been out of school for a while and trying to come back to education, you're not really sure what's out there in the abyss. And our transfer kids and transfer students, they know what it's like to be a student. So you can almost physically see them, especially if they're coming to the Tucson campus. Then what we see a lot of the times is just there's a comfortableness that they've developed. They know how to do all the ins and outs of being a college student. CAC does an excellent job of preparing them for that. They know which questions to ask. They don't waste anybody's time. They know how to get the courses that they need for the degree that they want, and it's because of CAC and their background. We particularly love the fact that CAC has residence life housing on their Signal Peak campus, because the students learn what it's like to live in a dorm. They know how to be away from their parents for the first time. A huge part of the CAC housing population is sports, so they know how to balance being a student athlete with academics. And then by the time they come to us, they're focused, they're ready to go, they know the ins and outs of all of it, and we just can't speak highly enough about our transfer population from Central.
Does that speak to success of the student, to the fact that they are comfortable?
Success, definitely, and retention, because they're the little bumps that are in the road, they've seen them before, the challenges they're familiar with, they know how to navigate through the system, and so it's not quite as scary as it might be to a first-time student. And one of the advantages of being available at the CAC Signal Peak campus as a U of A outreach coordinator is that if something happens and they do have a question, or they're scared about a situation, they can come and talk to me. We're at CAC, we're side by side with the CAC advisors. So if they have a question, even as a freshman at CAC or as a sophomore at CAC, but they know that they want to do a U of A program, they can come to me, and we can look at the schedule, we can look at what content is going to be best for them to do the first 2 years at CAC. So again, they're not wasting a lot of time. They know what they're going for, and the retention rates are awesome that way.
In your experience, how important or how much more of a benefit is it to have you there as opposed to having to go to a website? Because you go to a website and that's good information, but a lot of times that is you don't know what questions you really have. You can't ask those questions on a website. So how important is it for you to be there? It's
very important. And again, you have a face, you have a niece, you have a name, you have a resource that you can come back to again and again. So the university websites can be very tricky. They're huge. They're a great source of information as far as there's any answer to any question that you can think of. Tracking down that answer may be a little bit more complicated. But if you come to me or you come to the university reps that work with CAC, then we know exactly where to find that answer. So we can get it to you more quickly. We can relate it to the situation that you've got going on. We can walk across the breezeway to Veronica and say, hey, we have this question about registration, or we have this question about financial aid. Especially if we're looking at students that are really trying to balance their financial aid. So we can say, hey, look, you've got a Promise for the Future scholarship. You're covered for 2 years. Let's not touch your Pell money. Let's not touch your grant money until you're ready to come to the U of A, and then you can have that money then.
Veronica, in Pinell County, there seems to be a lot of first-generation college students, and you're listening to what Raina has said. How important is the role for CAC to bridge that gap to a university?
It's very important. One of the things we have to always remember is a student walking on campus, that's their first experience. We don't want to give them a negative experience. We want everything to be as positive as possible.
Absolutely.
And so we want to be sure that, when they walk up to financial aid counter, they're getting all their questions answered. It's easy to fill out the application. They're not going, oh, you know what, I just can't do this. I can't figure out what they're talking about. I'm just going to give up. We want to be sure that we have as much information to give the students as we possibly can. We have orientations that we have students go through to help them navigate through like online student services, let them know the different scholarships that are available to them, how to fill out financial aid paperwork, what are the important things going on in registration that they need to be aware of, so that we have a good first semester experience, so that they're successful, they're not worried or thinking about what's going to go wrong, and then they're ready for that next semester, and they have a good understanding of what's going to happen next.
You're listening to CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley. We're visiting with representatives from the three state institutions, state universities. State institutions always comes out wrong, no matter how you say it. The state universities. And Raina, talk a little bit about U of A's how they're integrated with CAC and the opportunities for people, and then we're going to visit with the other two representatives and give them an opportunity to talk about their institutions.
We've worked very closely with CAC from Veronica's level to the president's office down, working with the advisors, working with curriculum to make sure that the U of A works with CAC to identify the type of programs that the students in Pinell County want to see. Do they need business programs? Do they need education programs? So that's kind of been our task, is to see what the students need, what's going to drive where we focus, and then integrating those needs as seamlessly as possible. What we've done in the past 5 years is develop a series of pathways where they can do their first 2 years with CAC, and a lot of times for a lot of students there's scholarship money connected to that through CAC. So they do their first 2 years affordably or free with CAC, and then they look to the U of A to transfer in seamlessly. And we track them the first couple years to make sure they're taking the classes they need. They're
You track them while they're at CAC?
Yeah, just to make sure, we check in with them, have them come into my office and make sure they're on the right track if they want to change their major, if they want to focus on something else, just to kind of keep a handle on them and make sure they're not taking 21 units of jewelry making or anything like that. We want them,
Zumba.
Yeah. Well, I understand that you want to be a doctor, but 27 credits of Zumba is not really going to be...
You'd be in shape.
There you go. And just kind of let them know that they have a resource there. That way if something comes up, if somebody gets sick, or if there's a personal situation, that we can intervene on their behalf if we need to. And that way there's just a clear pathway for them to see their end goal of their 4-year degree. Now, what we've loved to see and what we've seen in the past is you have a student who comes in and wants to do a certificate. So say they want to do heavy equipment operation. Then they really decide that they love it and they want to do an Associate of Applied Science. So then they do their Associates of Applied Science, and then they say, you know what, this is great, but I want to do more. And so then, we come in and we talk to them and say, these are your options. You can go back and finish and do an associate's degree if you like the CAC, community or the atmosphere there. You want to do more curriculum with them, or we can transition you into a bachelor's of applied science. So even at that point, even at an associate of applied science, they have options, and they're in control of their education. They're in control of how they want to build towards their eventual career.
I want to turn our focus to NAU and talk to Selena Salinas from Northern Arizona University. In terms of some of the stuff that you've been listening to here, one of the things I wanted to ask was, what are the services? I know NAU is embedded in CAC. What are some of the services that the students can find from NAU?
Just like our counterparts here, Northern Arizona University and in our area, extended campuses have been a part of CAC and the campus community for over 15 years. It's been an ongoing commitment that we've had. We do have full-time offices that we have housed at the CAC Signal Peak campus. We do have 3 full-time staff members that are there daily.
Wow.
We do have a commitment every day to the students at CAC. We have a transition coordinator who her role directly is to help students who are interested in NAU programs make that transition from CAC to the university. And her name is Cheryl Daniels. And her sole responsibility is to help the students that are interested in that, making that transition. And we follow the CAC hours, so we're available Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. Or during the summer hours, we follow those schedules as well. So we have a definite presence on campus. The other staff member is our area director, Dr. Elizabeth Baroy, who promotes the programs within the community, and then myself doing outreach. So we do have a large commitment to the campus and the community. We also travel to provide services to students at all of the CAC locations. So we come out to Maricopa, we go to Santan, we go to Apache Junction, we go to Winkleman at the Aravaipa campus and Maricopa. So not only are we making a commitment to the students at the main campus, but all of the locations and campuses throughout the county that are looking for services and being able to transition from CAC to the university. So we're doing that on a consistent basis, and we're happy and proud to be doing so. And like I said, it's something that we had our own building on campus. Now we're embedded within advising. So just like our counterparts, Cheryl and ourselves are available to students, as they're coming and going. So we're happy to be there.
Earlier we were talking about, Raina brought up a point about the dorm, that we have residence halls on our campus.
Yes.
And when you look at ASU and you look at U of A, they're still within a commuter range of a lot of the population depending on where they live in the county. NAU is the furthest away. So is that a benefit that the students get if they're living on campus? They learn that when they go up to NAU, because they're not going to commute from Phoenix area up to NAU, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, our situation. Extended campuses in that because we've had a long-standing relationship with Central, we have been able to work through arrangements for students who are looking to continue to their bachelor's, who are currently in the residence life dorms, but maybe aren't looking to go to Flagstaff, or for whatever financial or personal reasons want to stay in the community but to continue their bachelor's degree locally. There have been some opportunities for students to be in the dorms while they're working towards their bachelor's degree with NAU. Beyond that, Extended Campuses actually is located statewide. We have campus locations across the state in over 34 locations. We have smaller mini campuses, if you will, in Mesa in the East Valley, in Tucson, in Yuma, and Prescott. So we really are located statewide, and that's part of the outreach efforts and to educate individuals that Flagstaff's not for everybody, especially those of us that are native to the area. I don't do well in cold or in snow. So, it's nice to go on the weekends, but I wouldn't see myself living there. And a lot of students probably feel the same way. So we're, happy that we're able to provide the extended campus experience to students who want to get the bachelor's degree in a mode that's convenient for them, whether it be on-site at CAC, online, or at one of our extended campus locations.
I brought my snow shovel from Philadelphia. It's still in my garage here. I haven't used it in 7 years, so I have to get up there and do that.
We did get a dusting at one time in Casa Grande, a few years back, so you never know.
Hang on to it.
My in-laws got snow up in Gold Canyon this winter, so it was, everybody's breaking out the snow plow, so I was a little crazy there. But so let's bring Kiri Theobald on from ASU, and Kiri, talk a little bit about ASU's program and how they're integrated with CAC and the opportunities for students.
So we've actually been working with CAC just like the other universities for quite some time now. We have what's called the TAG programs, which are the Transfer Admission Guarantee programs, specifically for CAC. And the design is basically the student takes their associate's degree, they take all of their lower division credits at CAC and then can transfer in, and all of those credits are guaranteed to transfer into the program at ASU. So we have over 45 TAG agreements with CAC, so we try to make it easy for students to get that education affordably and stay at the community college so they can get that college experience and then travel on once they're ready to get their bachelor's degree. We try to make that as seamless as possible. I travel to CAC, to Signal Peak campus, at least once a month, and then I also have Skype appointments available, so I try to be available as much as possible for the students. Unfortunately, I'm not permanently on campus like the rest of them.
Geographically, you're probably the closest located to Pinell County.
Yes, I'm actually located at the Polytechnic campus at ASU, so just over here on Williams Field Air Force Base, what used to be. So I'm actually pretty close, so I travel here and there, so I try to go to all the different campuses if students need me, but I'm always available whenever anybody needs me.
Selena, I want to ask you a question, and then I want to come back to Veronica, and then Kira, I'd like each of you to also answer this. But now you look at CAC about to open 2 new campuses, one in Maricopa and one in the city of Maricopa. I always had to quantify that, but the city of Maricopa, and then also here in the Santan Valley, where we had centers before. How does that change what you do, or does it change, just makes it a bigger scale?
Oh, it completely changes, I think, because Maricopa and Santan are booming populations that are growing into from communities and areas of home development into actual full-blown cities with neighborhoods and large populations of people, families. They're living here, they're going to school here. So now it really becomes a matter of how do we serve this community, community on this campus, this full-blown campus. Now that the campus is available in Maricopa and coming soon to Santan, it affords us the opportunity to promote programs, potentially cohort opportunities on site. We can tell the community, you've got a full-blown campus here in your backyard where your children can get their 2-year degree done and potentially get their 4-year bachelor's degree completed. You don't have to go to the Valley. You don't have to go down to Tucson or even Flagstaff. So it's a great way to think of new ideas to engage the community right here where they live. but also, like I said, to try to incorporate employers locally so that we can develop programs on site at the schools.
Hey, Kira, I'd like you to chime in on that question too. With the new campuses, especially one being so close to you guys.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to change my tactics a lot, especially because I'm going to be traveling through all of the different CAC campuses, trying to visit as many students as possible. I think it's great that there have so many locations available for CAC students, so that way they can choose which is locally best for them, and then get their associate's degree, get everything completed that they need for their job, because they're obviously going to get their business, increase their business opportunities. The whole purpose of getting your degree is getting that education, getting that job opportunity after you graduate. So I think it's great that with these populations that are building up on the outskirts of the valley, as well as locally in the Metro Phoenix area, I think it's great for students to have those opportunities, and more options, the better.
Raina?
Definitely, I would agree as far as accessibility and the availability of more options for those students. The more choices that they have, the more they can find a program that is tailored to what they need, to their options. And again, kind of going off of what Selena said, it's an economic development driver. If those students have more access to education through these Central Arizona College campuses, that they can get their foot in the door, get the first 2 years done, and then potentially move on and get a bachelor's degree, then it's going to start attracting businesses to the areas that are going to recruit a skilled workforce that has that bachelor's level or eventually that master's level education completion, and it should drive the economy quite well. It should attract those businesses that we want to see.
Veronica, does it change your approach at all in having two new campuses and dealing with the three state universities? I mean, in one way, especially in the Santan Valley, you look at it, there's 80,000 people in unincorporated land. If it was incorporated, it'd be in the top 5 cities in the whole state.
Right.
It's this wave that could engulf everybody here very quickly.
Yeah, one of the things that we're really looking at is with the new sites opening up is what is the need for that community, so that we can tailor those programs and be sure that what type of businesses or industry are coming into the area, so that we can be sure that we're able to give them some good employees, some educated employees. How can we assist those industries? How can we assist those businesses, those mom and pop shops that just want to get their business degree and those types of things, so that we can serve that community really well. And what's great about having the 3 universities being in partnership with them is they all work together, and we all the 4 institutions, college and the university, we all work together. So you can go in and talk to Raina and go, Raina, hey, do you have this program? And Raina might not necessarily have it through U of A, but she's aware of what NAU has and what ASU is offering. So she can say, we don't currently have it, but let me put you in touch with ASU, because they do offer that in this area. And so what's really nice is, while they are in competition with each other, they're not in competition. We're not in competition. What they're here to do is to serve the community and be sure that all the students are getting the education that they need and they deserve.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about, and Kiri mentioned the TAG programs. Explain what that term means a little bit more in depth so people understand it.
Well, the TAG program, I think the biggest seller for the TAG program is really that, and she forgot to mention this, and I was like, oh, wait, I wonder if she's going to say, is it kind of locks them into a lower tuition rate. When they sign the TAG program, they're locked into the tuition rate of that year, I believe.
Yeah, that cohort. So it's the tuition cohort. It's the year that they signed up at CAC for whatever degree program they're wanting to. So that way, when they transfer to ASU, they're still in that same tuition year rate.
So as the university's tuition is going up every year, that student doesn't necessarily go up that same amount. I think it goes up a small.
It's the small
midget.
percentage
Yeah.
that every student goes up every year, but they won't see that larger difference if they're coming in as a brand new student.
Yeah, so that's a great incentive for students to do the TAG program. One of the things that, and I also wanted to mention, because it was, I think Raina had mentioned it, is we're all part of the Arizona General Education curriculum. So all the courses, like all your maths, your sciences, your Englishes, we're all part of this cohort that you don't have to worry about, okay, if I take this class, is it going to transfer to U of A or NAU or ASU? If I change my program, am I going going to lose all of these credits. The general education, those math sciences are transferable to all the state universities and even the community colleges throughout Arizona. So, you might decide that, hey, I'm not going to say another community college. I'm not going to do it. If you want to go somewhere that might offer a different program like dental hygiene, you're still able to take those maths or sciences and Englishes with you. And you can transfer them around and go, okay, you know what? Hey, I thought I wanted to do this with NAU. Now I've decided I want to do this with U of A. And you can take those general education courses and transfer them, which makes it really nice and convenient for students as well.
So that's where the universities and CAC work together.
Yes.
They're in competition, but because in a sense CAC is in competition for obviously freshmen.
Right. We want them to come to us first.
To us. But when you're looking at the two new campuses that are going to open, especially Maricopa, when you look at Maricopa and Santan, we've done centers.
Yes.
So now you look at it, and do you think it becomes an easier transition for students attending a campus as opposed to attending a center?
Oh, it does. And if you haven't been out to one of the new campuses as they're opening up, including our Superstition Mountain campus, they've done some renovations there. You've definitely got to go and take a look, take a walk around. Instead of being how it was previously as a center in a kind of like a little strip mall where you're kind of walking into a little store, you're walking onto a campus, and it really feels like a campus. You really feel like you're walking onto ASU, and you're like, wow. I mean, even my main location is at the Signal Peak campus, and at the new campuses, I'm really jealous. I mean, the Maricopa site, the Santan, the Superstition Mountain, you walk, and they're absolutely gorgeous. You feel like you're this mighty college student walking through, and you're like, where's the bookstore? I can do this. I got this. I'm going to go to class. I'm going to be successful. It just gives you that feeling of success, like you're accomplishing something so great and so big, and it really motivates you.
When you look at like the science rooms that are being put in, I use that as an example of the different places, and SMC being the first one that really opened. You're not intimidated when you go to a university science room because it's really the same thing.
Right, and you it's like you're walking into like I don't know.
A university.
Yeah,
it's really that's the common language. People go and say, "Wow, that's especially the new building at SMC. It's like it's
like,
a university."
What do I do with that? Really, I'm supposed to use that? But what's great is they walk you through everything, and then you're prepared when you step on that university site and in campus. You're like, I can do this. I've got this. I've done it 100 times. I can do this now. This next semester.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more with our guests about transferring from CAC to the 4 state universities. I'm Tom DiCamillo. You're listening to KQCK Live in the Santan Valley.
Are you experiencing computer problems? Is your computer running slow, bogged down with viruses and spyware? You need a reliable and knowledgeable, trustworthy computer service company. Contact Computers, Networks, and More, located in Santan Valley. Get your computer or laptop running in top condition by a certified technician with 20-plus years experience and beta tester from Microsoft. Computers, Networks, and More provides repairs and solutions to any computer-related issue, whether it's software, installation, troubleshooting, updates, or tune-ups. You can trust Computers, Networks, and More. Contact Jeff Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to schedule an appointment. We can have you up and running quickly, usually within 48 hours. Located in Santan Valley. Computers, Networks, and More. We're here for you. Contact Jeff at 480-729-8899. That's 480-729-8899. When you visit Hill Family Dentistry in Santan Valley, dentist Dr. Tim Hill provides each patient with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you and your family with services that will make you smile. With a full range of general, cosmetic, and specialty dentistry services that will keep you and your family smiling. Our commitment to our community is to provide outstanding oral health. Hill Family Dentistry is located on 36359 Gansell Road in Santan Valley, diagonally across from Banner Ironwood Hospital. Evening and weekend appointments available. We accept most insurances and have in-office policies available for non-insured. Contact us today at 480-588-8127. Hill Family Dentistry. Are you ready to start taking control of your future and maximize your earning potential? Central Arizona College has smaller class sizes and personalized attention to help you compete in today's tough job market. CAC now serves Santan Valley and Queen Creek. The CAC Santan Center is located in the shops at Copper Basin on Hunt Highway, behind Barrow's Pizza. Stop in and see how taking classes at CAC costs a fraction of a state university, and your credits can transfer. So, if you want to earn real money, you need to learn real skills at Central Arizona College. Enroll in classes today by calling 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu or call 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu. Central Arizona College, your way. Our family pets are such a big part of our lives. That's why Kelly's Critter Clips of Queen Creek and Sun Lakes has been providing pet grooming services for over 10 years. Your dog's comfort is very important to us, so we take the time to treat your pet with care, love, and professional attention it deserves. We welcome any size and breed and feature shampoo and conditioning, styling, flea and tick dips, ear cleaning, nail trimming, and so many other services that will leave your pet looking good and smelling good and feeling great, all at an affordable price. Located in Queen Creek and Sun Lakes, call now for an appointment, 480-655-5066. Kelly's Critter Clips.
As a small business owner, you need to make every dollar count. Phone services are the first indication of quality your customers see in your business.
Get all the latest features at a great monthly cost that can save you money and project your business as a professional entity.
Call Zentris Communications at 1-877-ZENTRIS. That's 1-877-936-8727.
That's 1-877-936-8727.
Welcome back to CAC Live. Tom DiCamillo in the KQCK studios. Just a program note, next week Deb Foster will join us in the studio. And then on July 4th, we're going to take a break. And then we'll be back on July 11th with Beth Krieger and Joe Carrero, who'll be back from Costa Rica. We'll be having a lot of fun down there. We have our shows booked actually throughout the summer into August, so we have a lot of great shows coming up. We'll also have some programming on the new campuses as they open, the Maricopa campus and the Santan campus coming up later this summer. Today we're talking about Central Arizona College's integration with the three state universities, not state institutions, but state universities, and NAU, U of A, ASU, and how students can get their four-year degrees or go on and even get degrees beyond that. Veronica, before we get back to our other guests, I want to ask you, especially because you went through the program and went on to a four-year institution, and having worked at CAC, do you really see that it's opened doors, CAC, to be able to do this? I mean, can you really quantify it? If we didn't have this, I mean, people wouldn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and like you said, it just there's so many doors that are open to you through going to community college and transferring to universities. And with CAC, I did it. I got my 2-year associate degree through Central Arizona College, transferred right into Northern Arizona University, finished my bachelor's degree, and then even continued to finished my master's degree, and never left Pinal County. I was able to do all of that right on CAC's Signal Peak campus. And so it's a great opportunity for those that might be on a fixed income, have family at home that they need to, tend to, whatever your situation might be. Having these partnerships with the 3 universities right here in Pinal County is just a great opportunity, and we're all here to promote education, and that's the important thing, is that we're making these resources available to everybody in Pinal County.
If this wasn't available, you'd gone to CAC and got your 2-year degree, not that you wouldn't have gone on, but it would have been a lot harder for you?
It would have been more difficult. Obviously it would have also cost more money, having to travel to the valley or down into Tucson, or even possibly even moving, just depending on what the situation is. Having these opportunities available right here at home, it was very simple. I was able to walk right in, talk to advisors from the university. They helped me fill out, scholarship information. There were scholarships that were available. You see flyers that that are posted all over the place, and so having that convenient and knowing that, hey, yeah, I'm an NAU student, but I'm right at home. I don't have to go into the university setting. I can do it right here. It made it really convenient, really easy.
If you had not had the opportunity to do it in Pinal County, your options would have been probably to move to Flagstaff or somewhere, or a heavy commute somewhere to one of the 3.
And figure out, okay, every time I need to talk to an advisor or something, I've got to drive somewhere, or I've got, and so having the convenience of having somebody right there face to face to be able to talk to me, and not worry about, okay, when I sign up for this class, where's it going to be? Am I going to have to take it online? I was able to take a majority of my classes face to face, made it really nice. And it was just, if I hadn't had this opportunity, it would probably taken me a lot longer. And I would, and for individuals that might not have the time, they want to do something to continue their education right now, or work towards, job advancement, and they've got to have something completed within a certain time, and it makes it very nice to have that available to them.
Raina, you're a CAC. You went to CAC.
I did.
And so you've experienced very similar. Talk about your experience.
I was a student at Coolidge High School. 5 years ago. And then while I was at Coolidge High School, I was able to do the dual credits where I took English 101 and English 102 with CAC. So I got dual credit for it. I got high school credit and I got college credit. So I was able to open up a couple holes in my schedule as far as college goes. So that way, when I got a scholarship from the U of A, I could go down to Tucson and not be as overwhelmed as it would have been if I was in an English 101 class with, 500 students or whatever. I had a little bit of confidence knowing that I had been a college student already. I knew how to register for classes. I knew how to talk to an advisor because I learned that process through going to CAC. And when I got to the U of A, it was a huge confidence builder for me.
And Selena, you went to CAC as well.
Yeah, I did. Raina and I are both natives of Pinal County. I was born and raised here. I graduated Coolidge High School as well, a little bit more than 5 years ago.
I think we're going to have a battle on our hands here.
Yeah. I truly enjoy working for Northern Arizona University Extended Campuses and representing and working directly with Pinal County, because this is my community. This is where I'm from. Yes. And truly, you understand the dynamics of, what are potential students, what are their concerns, what are their barriers, what are the things that are important to them, or the concerns that they're going to have when they're considering college. Are they even considering college? Like myself, like I said, I graduated Coolidge High School. I didn't do first step. I didn't do the early college opportunities. Honestly, I can say for myself that I was a first generation college student, and without the CAC academic scholarship, I really don't know what opportunities I would have had. I had come from a single family household, and money was definitely an issue. So, I knew about financial aid, but I didn't know a whole lot about college. So for me, when I got that letter from CAC saying you're being offered an academic scholarship, I just thought, wow, this is an opportunity and I'm not going to pass it up. And without that, I really am not sure that college would have been in my first thought. because, like I said, as a first-time college student, I didn't have anyone in my household or my immediate family guiding me, in that direction. So for me, it was a wonderful opportunity, and I truly speak volumes of the opportunity that CAC does present to our rural students, because a lot of them are first-generation college students. A lot of them have economic backgrounds that, they're concerned about money. Maybe their parents don't know either themselves how to navigate through the college system. So it's a great way that I tell students, it's a great way to slowly ease your way into that direction in your life. Maybe you have a thought in your mind that I really would like to go to college, but you're afraid to vocalize it because you don't know how to ask how to get there. And so I try to encourage students all the time, you may not be considering CAC as your first choice, or maybe you may not be considering college as a choice for yourself, but through Promise for the Future and the academic scholarships, you should take that opportunity, because it gives you the opportunity to have a college education and start that trend for yourself and future generations to say, I can do it. If Selena did it, Raina did it, I can do it. If they did it, I can do it. And we're no different. We just, you got to take that leap of faith and just go. And the community at CAC is so supportive, and because it's a smaller atmosphere, there's a lot of opportunity to really get hands-on assistance and guidance about, okay, you should be doing this next, and this is what you need to do now. So the environment really cultivates the student to where they can feel comfortable to start asking questions and feel comfortable in knowing that college is for them.
We try to break it down for them. A lot of times they'll come in and say, this is it, because it can be an overwhelming process. It can be absolutely overwhelming. So we say, don't make a decision right now. Just apply and see if you get into this program or that program or whatever. Then when the application comes in, or when you submit your application, you see who you hear back from. So you're towards your sophomore year at CAC and you're looking at where you want to transfer. Apply to ASU, apply to U of A, apply to NAU. Who's going to give you the most scholarship money? Who's got the best fit for your program that you want to do? And don't make the heavy decisions now. Just apply, let's see what happens, and then we can make those decisions later. So then when the money comes in, or when you're getting a better look at the program, or you've been to all 3 campuses, or you've been to a couple of orientations, great, now you have more information. What's the next step? What can we help you do next? And so we try to make it bite-sized pieces, so that way it's not all at once, and that way they feel in control of what's going to happen for their education.
One of you said this, I think, Raina touched on it, and Selena, I think you said it. How telling of a statement is this, and any of you can answer this, or all of you can, when you hear the statement that says, I don't know about college. And it's not about going to the classes, it's just everything else of just getting your foot in the door. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty telling statement, and why it's so important to have what we're doing here today.
It is, and because, I think the biggest misconception for a lot of, like I will say again, Pinal County is a rural county, and a lot of rural students are going to be first-generation students, and they don't know what they don't know. So they know that CAC is there and that it's a community college, but maybe they don't even know what an associate's degree is, or why is college important for me. So they don't, they can't ask those questions about, what would I be doing, or what classes would I take, or how would I even pay for college, or, why is college important for me? So that in itself, just being able to, if we can engage the community by going to the schools and by going out to events and promoting the schools, we can inform them really what it's all about, and we can bring the information to them and be able to talk with them intimately about, this is what's going to happen. It's just like anything else. You're going to take it one step at a time, and Veronica's going to be here, and you can go to an orientation, and you can have these first step opportunities to get your feet wet and see what it's like, one class at a time. So you can inform them and engage them about, this is what you can do to educate yourself and your family or whoever else needs to help you in that decision-making process. And so that's, one of the great ways through the university is okay, beyond that, for individuals who maybe are thinking about college through Promise for the Future or the academic scholarships, but maybe they're not thinking about bachelor's, or maybe they're not thinking about universities, that's our opportunity to say, hey, you don't have to go to ASU, you don't have to drive to Tempe, you don't have to go to Tucson or move to Flagstaff. There is opportunities right here. Whatever your needs or reasons are, you can still get your bachelor's degree right here, right close to home, and accomplish what the long-term goals are. And a lot of times, furthering your education, we know economically creates more opportunity for employment. In a recession and when there's job uncertainty, the higher your education attainment, data shows that the lower your unemployment rates are going to be.
And one of the things is a lot of students don't even realize that they might just take a computer class to just improve some of their job skills, and they're sitting in class and they're talking with fellow classmates and they're going, hey, did you know that NAU has the CAC to NAU type stuff, and then they start asking more questions, going, oh, you know what, and this one class wasn't that bad, I think I'm going to take some more classes. And they start leading into certificate programs, and they're like, okay, I've completed the certificate. Guess what? That leads right into an associate degree, and then that associate degree leads right into a bachelor's degree. And so I think that students, they just kind of get their foot in the door, like Selena was saying, and don't realize how it opens for so many different possibilities.
Let's talk a little bit more about the CAC to NAU program.
Yes. I love talking about the CAC to NAU program. It's the program that we, if I'm out and about in the community, whoever I'm talking to, I'm talking about our CAC to NAU program. It's a wonderful program. It's a 2 NAU program that the university established as a commitment to bringing quality education locally to where people are. And it's through CAC, it's a joint admission program. So essentially what it is for students who are enrolled at Central Arizona College and are considering transferring to the university, it's an opportunity for them to become engaged with the university from the early set of their introduction to CAC until they're graduated and ready to transfer to the university. The program itself is an admission. You have to apply for the program, and through the program you are admitted to the university while you're a student at Central Arizona College. While you're a student at CAC, you are enrolled as a non-degree seeking student at the university. With that status, you are able to have access to university services. Wow. So what would happen is a student would be given a student email account, an NAU student account. They would be given an email address and also a student ID. So with that access, the student is now a part of the campus community. They're going to be informed and engaged with their student email account because they're going to receive updates just like every other full-time regular student does about announcements on campus, what's going on at Flagstaff or other places throughout the university locations. If there's new programs, new offerings at the campus or within the university, important deadlines, scholarship opportunities are available, or this new program is now being developed, they're going to be informed, so they'll be engaged with what's going on with the campus. With their student ID, they can go to the campus, they can go to Flagstaff, take a weekend trip, like I said, dip their feet in the water without jumping in, and get a feel for what it's like. Take a look at the campus, see what it's like, go to a sporting event, go to the Sky Dome. With their student ID, they will either get in free or pay whatever the student rate is because of their CAC to NAU program. So it's a great way to engage the student with the campus and the community, to know who are the service providers, where are they located, become familiar with the campus. Here locally, what happens is they will work with our local transition coordinators to plan for their transition to the university. They will do that by working with CAC advisors and their local transition coordinator to make sure that they're working collectively to attain their associate's degree, but also taking the right classes to transfer to the university to the bachelor degree program of their choice, and that they're taking the right coursework along the way. We do, like, all of our goal here is to make sure that it's a seamless transition, that they're not wasting their time and they're taking advantage as much as possible of the both service providers. So they're doing that along the way. They're becoming acquainted with the university, and when they're done with their associate's degree at CAC, with a minimum GPA, they have an opportunity for a $2,000 scholarship towards their bachelor's degree. And what's really wonderful about the scholarship opportunity, in my opinion, is that it's not, they can take it to Flagstaff, they can do it online, or they can do a cohort program, meaning that whatever option they choose when they're done with CAC, whether it means moving and transitioning to the university, maybe starting work, or doing whatever they need to do with family obligations, they can do it online with one of our bachelor degree programs. We offer over 70 degree programs fully online, or they can do a cohort option. A cohort option is an on-site based program that NAU offers at all of its extended campus locations. At Signal Peak, we're offering elementary education program with special ed certification. So that's a program that's available at Signal Peak. And we're also introducing public agency management, justice administration, and emergency services management. Those are bachelor degree programs that are also going to be offered in this coming year in Casa Grande through the corporate center.
Wow, so there's a lot. There's a lot to choose from. Carrie, there's with the TAG program, there's some specific programs and scholarships available too.
Oh, absolutely. So, like I mentioned earlier, we have 45 different TAG programs specifically designed for CAC. So these are anything from our business programs, we have biological sciences, we have our RN to BSN program, so that's getting your nursing license and then going on to get your bachelor's of nursing. So there's a lot of different opportunities, and for students that are getting their associate's degree that are coming off the TAG, you have that opportunity for what's called the New American University Scholarship, and students that are coming from CAC are considered for that automatically when they apply to ASU when they're ready to transfer over. So it's a great opportunity for students who also want to stay in Pinal County. We also have a lot of our TAG programs are also available online. So if they wanted to stay locally, they could complete their entire bachelor's degree online as well.
So there's a lot of options. And then, Raina, it's a TAP program?
It is a TAP. What U of A has done with CAC is we sat down and looked at curriculum and how it lined up and how we would get these students done in as close to 4 years as possible. So we identified about 20 different pathways where they would do a prescribed set of curriculum with CAC, get their degree with CAC, and then come into a U of A program. And some of those programs are housed under a particular umbrella that makes them eligible for scholarship money out of the U of A South. So there are scholarships that are available specifically for transfer students that are coming from CAC to NA or from CAC to U of A, and then there's a subset of those programs where they would be eligible for even more scholarship money if they decided to do one of the identified programs out of U of A South, which includes online curriculum, online degree programs in psychology, supervision, family studies, and human development. We have a commerce degree. We have some pre-business, pre-law degrees that are available. And the best thing to do is just to come in and talk to us. And I would advise any CAC student to have all your options open. Come and talk to one of us. Come and talk to all three of us. We'd all love to hear from you because we all want to fit whatever need you have as a student. So if you come and talk to each of us, you're going to find an answer. You're going to find a program that fits you specifically.
Randy, why don't you give out contact information if anybody needs to get a hold of you? Email, website, phone, whatever you'd like to give out.
A great common resource for all three of us, if you go to the CAC website and go to university partnerships, we're all listed there. So that's one way to do it. And then you can always email me. My email address is first initial last name, so rpisano@arizona.edu. Phone number is 520-449-3449. And then again, the CAC website is a good way to get a hold of us as well. Or if you just come into Signal Peak and go to advising, we're there.
Carrie, you want to give out your contact information?
Sure. I'm on the CAC website as well. You can also find me on transfer.asu.edu. And my phone number is 480-727-5417. My email address, just call my phone. It's too long for me to say it, and you're not going to spell my name correctly, so don't even worry about it.
And then, Selena, before you give out your information, I want you to touch briefly. We have about a minute left on the 90-30 program.
Oh, yes. Our 90-30 programs are another cost-saving program for potential students here at CAC. And what it is basically is a bachelor degree programs that are fully customizable. The student will earn 90 credits towards their bachelor degree at CAC, taking CAC coursework, paying the CAC tuition rate. They would then take their final 30 upper division coursework credits at the NAU rate with NAU faculty. So that's the 90-30 programs. There are specific programs under that program. Those program types will vary. But if you want any information about the 90-30 programs or CAC to NAU, you can go to the website nau.edu/extended, or feel free to email us at pinalcounty@nau.edu.
Terrific. And Veronica, it's for people that need help before they even get to this stage with the three of our guests here, what should they do?
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the contact information for our help desk at the at CAC, and that help desk can answer questions about how to apply online, walk you through that process and through financial aid contacts, and they can kind of direct you as you get your application filled out. But our website is www.centralaz.edu, and our help desk, their phone number is 520-494-5111, and that is a district-wide. They help everybody district-wide throughout the entire county. And their email address is centralhelpdesk@centralaz.edu.
I'd like to thank all of you for coming today.
Thank you.
Extremely informative, especially this time of the year, people trying to make their plans for next year. Freshmen or sophomores probably heading into their sophomore year, trying to decide what they're going to do. This is great information. Again, centralaz.edu.
Hey, Tom, Veronica has been on the air enough. Is she eligible for the Women of Radio calendar that you guys are putting out?
It's 12 months of Veronica.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm trying to train somebody to host the show when I'm not here. So Veronica may jump in at some
There you
point.
go. Perfect.
I've already got her started with commercial, the idea of how to kind of talk her into it. So, but don't forget, next week we have Deb Foster on. She's going to talk about a lot of things, including the international program, and I think she's going to talk a little bit about the on-time registration.
On-time registration.
Right, which is a change that we're going through at Central Arizona College. So for all of our guests today, I'm Tom DiCamillo. We'll catch you next week on CAC Live on KQCK in the Santan Valley.
More music 24 hours a day.
Got termites gnawing on your house? Do you have a pest problem in or around your home or your business?